Well, I was uh, working on getting the clip of you set up here in your appearance in Casting Couch Slaughter. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that movie.
It was made by a filmmaker who's a friend of mine and named Amir. And I met him when I reviewed his movie, which was something about like killer prostitutes or something. He made a movie about a serial killing prostitute, and so I reviewed it. I saw it on this like membership club I joined, and reviewed his film, and we became friends. And then he said he was making this movie, so he asked if anybody wanted to be in it, and I said I wanted to be in it, and he said, like, do a commercial that is like something illegal. And so I came up with that commercial for him and sent it to him, and he said he loved it and put it in the movie and everything.
That's awesome. That kind of answers the first question I was going to start off with, and that was how you got started in the horror industry. Second question is going to be what was it like working on your first horror movie?
It was really easy. I'm kind of a one-hit wonder. Like, I get it right on the first try usually. I'm like a one-take wonder or something. I almost always, when I work on movies, I almost always get it right the first time, and that was the case here. I did one take, he loved it, put it in the movie. That's what usually happens.
What scares you the most as an actor in the horror genre?
I guess just being like obscure and like not reaching an audience. Like, if you're making horror art, you have to tap into that horror market. So I'd say I'm afraid of like being too obscure in the horror community, and like also being rejected by the horror community. That would be pretty scary to me.
What kind of techniques did you use to build like an atmosphere or tension on set?
I used my green screen, and I used fart sound effects, and I can't remember if I used music or not. I'm not sure, but I don't think I used music. But and then I used a script that was part of this money-making scheme I was involved with. Like, when I bought it, I got the rights to use this script, and so that's where the script came from for my role.
Yeah, today was the first time I saw the movie. Was that the first one that you were in? Casting Couch Slaughter.
Maybe my first feature length movie.
just
I make my own movies, and a lot of critics say that they're not actual movies, but like, I've starred in feature length videos that I've made, and they're
No, that was
movies.
definitely a movie. That was definitely a movie.
Thanks, man. Like, I'm Mormo, I would consider that a horror movie. So
That's how I like my horror movies personally. Is low budget and just real.
Yeah.
What my question was gonna be was no. What I was going at was when I saw you for the first time in that film. it made me laugh because I've been watching you on YouTube for so long that it just fit in there perfectly. The
Oh,
role that they had
cool.
for you, the role that I personally, I thought, in my opinion, the role for you just fit in there perfectly. All right. Now here's a probably going to be a lengthy question. How do you What do you think is the key to creating a successful horror movie?
The key to making a successful horror movie,
Creating, making, yeah.
creating a successful horror movie.
Yeah, what do you think the key to that would be?
Um, Keeping the budget low, I think. Like, if you can keep the budget low and then figure out how much money you can earn, and typically you want to earn from several different sources, like physical media and streaming media and ad supported and stuff. And then there's like foreign sales. I would say the key is finding many different sources of income for your movie.
Excellent. Oh shit. Sorry, I had a pop up that just fucking screwed up my whole screen. All right, we're back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my webcam crapped out earlier. That's why I was so slow to get on the live.
Oh, this McAfee service, my service ended, so they want me to renew it, and I don't feel like renewing it. So they keep fucking sending these pop ups, and it's disrupting everything. They'll figure something. Next question. What makes a horror character lasting and successful, in your opinion?
Like to become like an icon.
Yeah,
Um,
something people that remember. A big hit amongst the horror community.
I think backstory is really important. You gotta have the good backstory. Like I saw that movie, the I can't think of the title right now, but it was like about this guy who collected people, the collector or something like that, the collector. But he just like collected people, and his backstory was so weak. Like they didn't, I didn't know anything about the character, and you don't really see the character. And I think a good horror icon needs a good backstory and like origin story.
Definitely, a good plot does make a difference, in my opinion, for a good horror movie. Unless it's just going to be senseless killing and gore,
For sure.
which where you get into the cool effects. That's what I always liked about the '80s horrors. The effects are fucking sweet.
Yeah, the when they were done practically with like plastic and like molds and like actual like puppetry and stuff like that, they were a lot better because they were like real monsters. They were actually a physical monster as opposed to like a lot of the CGI you see nowadays. When they did practical effects, you were
Yeah,
looking at something that was a real thing that like people made and everything. And to me that just makes it scarier, the old school like practical effects. And of course they many movies still use them today, but a lot for a while there you were seeing a lot of CGI. And
I, I was laughing at that one part in Casting Couch today that I saw, where the killer with the drill fucking drills into the guy's dick hole. The way they filmed that was fucking cool.
Yeah, totally. That's such a funny movie. I should probably watch it again.
But all right, let's see. Here's a simple question here. What is your favorite horror movie and why?
Probably Dawn of the Dead '78, and I watched it with my dad, and just always really enjoyed that movie. I think it's like a really smart horror movie, and just really enjoy that movie, Dawn of the Dead. I haven't seen that one in a while either, but that'll
Yep.
probably always be my favorite movie.
Dawn of the Dead number what now? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
The original Dawn of the Dead, not the remake, but the original one from the 70s.
I think that's the one that I like the best too that I've seen, where they go to the mall, but yeah, it's not the remake though.
Yeah, my favorite is the original, and I think it's a great movie.
There's so many zombie movies that I can't remember if that's the one that I'm thinking of because I don't know the actors' names. But had a better story than the remake, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you done any horror acting parts that you've had to use fear, both on screen and off, to create a successful scene in a horror movie?
I use a lot of like creepy music on my horror channel, and on my main channel, I use like spooky music, and I think that makes every scene I do kind of spooky, where it's like me eating at Taco Bell and there's spooky music playing. I think it kind of makes it like a horror movie. So that's what I do to make my stuff spooky, is just put horror music over it.
Now, can you also tell me about see what I as far as I know about you is you direct horror movies, you've been in a horror movie, you also follow the punk rock scene, and you started your own magazine
Yeah, with some
back in
friends years ago. That's where my career started, when I started doing Mormo Zine with my friends.
can you tell people about what that was like, how that started?
It started in San Diego, and I read I read about the name in a book, and I'll just leave it at that. And then I came up with the character, and I was going to the San Diego Comic Con my whole life, and used to take classes on how to self-publish and stuff. That's where I learned how to do it. And my friend Magic Matt really helped, and my friend Chris Medina, and we all published this little magazine, and we would sell it at shows and stuff, and we all had our own sales techniques and stuff and made money with it. And then sadly, like, commies took over the zine scene and said you shouldn't try and make money with a zine anymore. And I was like, that's what they said. Like, they were the industry magazine, and they said a zine is something not made that where you're not trying to make money. And that really rubbed me wrong, and I wasn't doing it for fun. I wanted to make money with it, and I pretty much dropped out of making zines after that. And
So you were on the west side in San Diego, California.
yeah, San Diego.
Oh wow, cool, cool. Yeah, I've been on the east side all my life. So so what got you into the scene there? Around what time was that? Do you think?
I want to say it was like 2005, maybe. And I met my friend Magic Matt, and he showed me all around the punk scene, and lived a punk lifestyle, seeing like 3 or 4 shows a week, and because there was punk shows every night of the week in San Diego, and sang backup on vocals. I made posters, I made buttons, I made DVDs, I made music videos, I made a documentary. I got a punk rock channel on Roku, and if you search punk on Roku, I'm the only channel that'll show up.
Now, were you into like underground punk, or were you into like mainstream, or just all different kinds of punk? Basically, like, oh, what did
Mostly
what?
mostly
I'm sorry.
underground and old school. Like I like 70s punk bands. And
Nice.
because San Diego was so close to LA, like a lot of the old punk rockers still performed and would come to the bars in San Diego. And so I'd get to see like classic 70s LA punk bands. And that was really the highlight, was the classic bands. And then I had a lot of friends who were in punk bands, and I went to tons of their shows. And bands, they'd open up for bands, and bands would open up for them. And it was a great, like, that's where, like I say, that's where my career started. And now I got punk rock products and stuff, and I used to consider myself a product punk, and I made punk products that could be sold.
Did you ever make merch for your favorite bands or any bands that you were into there?
Yeah, I did. I made tons of stuff, and my outlook in my business was that it didn't matter if I made money. It only mattered that the bands made money. So like I would make products and then give them to the bands, and then they would sell the products.
Do you have a memory or a favorite punk concert that you've been to?
Probably this guy DT Black from a punk band. It's terrible. I can't remember the name of his band, but it's a 70s band. And he went on stage and sang their hit song, and that's probably my favorite. I got tons of memories of great shows, and luckily I documented my time in the punk scene, so there's like a documentary about my time in the punk scene.
There is. Where can we find that?
It's on my Roku channel. If you go to my Roku channel, that's probably the best way to watch it, and watch it on TV. Just search punk, and it'll be Punk Rock Mormo Zine on the Roku channel store.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with Roku. But, I can
Oh
easily
yeah,
look it up. I could easily look it up.
it's available on YouTube, but it's really hard to find. Like if you search Punk versus Mormo, you might find it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the link really quick.
Do you still do Mormo Zine?
It's just a YouTube channel right now, and a Facebook fan page.
YouTube channel, right?
But I don't publish on paper
Because
anymore.
you're not in. And how's goth night going for you?
I plan on going next Wednesday and having dinner there at least.
So it's still an ongoing thing.
For me, it is probably.
Awesome. Yeah, I really can't, unless you still want to talk about punk rock. I mean,
Yeah, I got I got videos kind of already covering that part of my life, and that movie definitely documented my time there. Unfortunately, I'm not in it, and a lot of people complained about that I wasn't a character in the movie. But it's all the bands I used to hang out with, and it's a pretty good movie.
yeah, I noticed a name at the end that did the music at the end. Michael, I can't remember the last name. But whoever did the music for that movie was pretty talented. I like the punk song at the end. And there was pretty decent rap beats in there too.
Oh, and Casting Couch Slaughter.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he's a talented musician. He's not doing movies anymore. Now he's a like death metal or like black metal musician.
Really, that's awesome. I'd like to check that out. I'd like to hear that. It's the type of music I'm into.
For sure. When we get this edited, I'll send him a link to the interview. I'm sure he'd love to see it.
I guess other question would be is there any future projects that you can kind of tip us off about, or is it a secret, or
The near future project is going to be DVDs. There's been some interest in getting this Mormo DVD in the mail, and I have all the stuff to make them. I just got to get motivated to actually do the work. But people are saying they'll buy them, and I'm probably going to sell them in sets. Like you have to buy 5 at the same time, but they'll be really cheap. But like the point is that then you sell them to people and keep the money. It's like it's like a money making business opportunity.
and where can we purchase those? I was
I
actually
gotta
looking.
make them. I gotta make them first. I only have one copy
Oh,
right
that's
now.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
but
stupid. I'm stupid. I forgot. I asked you future. This was a
that's cool.
future question.
It's it's gonna
I'm
be
definitely excited about that, though.
yeah, and I'll probably end up selling them on eBay.
I heard you said there was a troll that had a copy out, and I actually went looking for it, and I could not find it. So
Oh, good.
so it's not out there. If you want it, you got to buy it from the man, Mr. Mormo,
Yeah.
the creator. Shit, the way it should be. Right.
That movie I'm Mormo is in my membership as well. If you join my membership on my channel, you can see it.
Well, really, I didn't know you had membership on your channel. How much is that
it
a month?
it's like 4 or 5 a month. There's quite a few movies on there. Like I don't really have any fans of my movies right now, so I'm not really uploading stuff there, but there's tons of like past videos to watch of like exclusive stuff, mostly me hosting money making training and stuff.
I got a question. I saw one of your videos today. It was from 6 years ago, and I couldn't find an, what's the word, an ending to that video. It was a short video, and it was entitled something like "Sending Hate Mail." I think it was something along the lines. And in this video, you're sending a Valentine's Day card to somebody, and then you're sending a hate card to somebody else, and you went to describe that it was I don't know, obscene, vulgar words in it or whatever. But you said you were going to sleep on it. Did
Oh
you
yeah,
ever send it or not?
I sent them.
Did you make a follow-up video on that? Because that just left me in suspense. I was wondering, all right, did you send them or not?
I got a movie called Breaking the Devil Master's Curse. That's it's the same theme.
Now, are you into any sorts of witchcraft?
I am. I wear a pentacle around my neck, and I'm like a lazy pagan. I don't really practice that much, but I consider myself a pagan.
Like a Viking pagan?
No, just like somebody who's not a Christian, a Muslim, or a Jew.
Oh, I don't choose to have any religion. So I don't know about the pagan religion though. Could you tell me something about that?
It's just a real vague term that means you're not like any established religion, like I'm spiritual, and like I love learning about witchcraft, and over my life I've had sex with several witchcraft with women who practice witchcraft, and love it, but I don't practice it that much. I'm pretty lazy about practicing it.
So yeah, I've heard so many different opinions and stories on witchcraft that I don't know what to believe it and tell you the truth. Uh, where am I going with this?
Yeah, witchcraft is something nobody should dabble with. Either you're in or you're out, but don't like dabble with it.
Yeah, I have a book. It's pretty expensive one. It's called the Egyptian Book of Death. And it's got like the ruby on it, and it's translated of the Egyptian Book of Death with all these different spells in it. And there's like spells in there tell you how to like make people your slave in the afterworld and all this other wild shit.
Oh wow. Yeah, the what am I trying to say? When I was a bookseller, I would have offered you money for that book. That was a service I offered to the community, that I would pay money for any like new age or occult themed book.
Well, I was looking for spell books and I didn't want to buy a fake spell book, so I researched it, and that's what I found I should get. And I found a bookshop that had it, and it was not cheap. It was like around $600,
Wow.
but it has value, and that's about it. I think as far as the spells go and shit,
Yeah.
I haven't dabbled in cursing anybody because that's where I was going with the whole witchcraft thing. It seems like there's so many different types of witchcraft that everybody has like their own beliefs, and they
That's
stick
why I just call myself a pagan. It's like
right.
I'm just I feel like more of like a unique person than like somebody. Just my own views on the world and religion and everything is more like personal to me rather than I'm part of some bigger religion, you know?
Gotcha.